Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. At the Hernandez house, Ari tells Javi she's thinking of going to Salem U instead of U of Arizona. But it's not because she doesn't love living with her fathers. They're the best girl dads in the world, just like Javi would have been. She apologizes for overstepping, but Javi assures his cousin it's fine. It's not like he doesn't think about her all the time. He's just not used to talking about what happened. He confirms Leo doesn't know because it's too hard to explain. Ari promises not to say anything. Sophia finds a glum Tate in the pub. He relays that the adoptive parents rejected his request to see their baby. She knows he really wanted to meet her, but maybe it's for the best. Tate hard disagrees. In fact, he won't give up. He picks up his phone to find Sophia's lawyer to help him meet his kid. A panicked Sophia tries to dissuade him as Ari pushes in little T's stroller. Sophia stares so uncomfortably at the stroller that Ari offers to leave, but Sophia would like to see him again. "What do you mean again?" Tate asks. With a stunned expression, Sophia stammers that she ran into him with Javi. Appeased, Tate recounts how he met the little guy with Leo and even got to hold him. Sophia becomes overwhelmed. Tears well and she takes rapid breaths. Tate embraces her, and Ari leaves with Tesoro. Tate apologizes for being a jerk while she's trying to be strong. He'll stop obsessing about seeing his daughter and let it go. In the Salem Inn hallway, Leo grumbles about being sequestered, but a fellow juror, Adam, is practically giddy because he and his wife don't usually stay in expensive hotels. Speaking of his wife, she's a huge Body and Soul fan who thinks Leo is brilliant. When they learn they'll be roommates, Leo is characteristically snarky, while Salem's Ned Flanders can't wait to tell his wife who his roomie is. Leo frowns as they enter their too-small room, but Adam loves it, of course. After more wholesome banter, Leo is relieved when they're called back to court. In the courthouse corridor, Johnny Diddy urges his father not to drag Chanel through the mud when she takes the stand. EJ pushes back until Chanel joins them. "Whatever you want, John Roman." In the courtroom, Paulina praises Belle's prosecution and then worries EJ will play that video of Chanel in court. Belle assures her it's not enough to charge Chanel if Johnny is acquitted. When the trial resumes, Chanel takes the stand and defends her husband. EJ then goes in for the kill. He gets Chanel to admit she blamed him for Johnny changing his mind about adopting and plays the video of Chanel threatening him. Chanel insists that it never happened, but EJ cuts her off. "No further questions, Your Honor." The judge declares that Belle will question her tomorrow. The court's adjourned. Back at the Salem Inn, Adam suggests they talk about the Chicago Bears because they can't talk about the case. But that's not the kind of bears Leo would want to talk about. Leo rubs his temples as Adam picks up the phone to call the front desk for a deck of cards. Adam also can't wait to hear about the actors on BNS, but Leo has a headache. No, wait, it's much worse. He might be having a stroke. A panicked Adam offers to call 911, which Leo encourages him to do. When EMT Javi rushes to their room, Leo miraculously feels much better, but Javi should check him out just to be sure. Javi asks for some privacy, so Adam and Javi's partner leave the room. Alone, Javi offers to take Leo to the hospital, which could get him off the jury. Leo won't hear of it. After what happened in court today, that jury seat will be worth more than a ticket to Game 7 of the Super Bowl or the World Series, or whatever. Leo just asks his boyfriend to kiss him and make it better. Javi happily obliges. In the square with Paulina and Chanel, Johnny ignores a call from EJ. He apologizes to Chanel, who insists that what is on the video is not what happened. When Belle approaches, Johnny tells her the video is probably a deepfake and he wants to send it to an authority in AI. If he's right, EJ might be the one behind it. Johnny then goes to the mansion with 2 words for his father. "You're fired." DOOL spoiler alert. Here's your sneak peek at what's happening in Salem from Monday, August 18th to Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Stream Peacock every weekday to see how everything plays out on Days of Our Lives. Alex surprises Stephanie. Steve asks for Kayla's help. Gabby apologizes to Xander. EJ has a meltdown with Tony. Chanel urges Johnny to focus on clearing his name instead of hers. Marlena and Julie commiserate about family matters. Chad and Kat grow closer. Chanel is cross-examined. Belle and Johnny make their closing statements. The identity of EJ's shooter is finally revealed. EJ and Marlena discuss the next move forward. Kristen is unable to ignore the facts. Alex tries to hire Stephanie. Steve gives Gabby an update. Philip tells Belle she deserves better. Kristen pleads with EJ for more time. Marlena distracts Rachel. Leo presides over deliberations as the jury votes. Brady comforts Tate. Sarah encourages Sophia to tell the truth. Johnny's trial comes to an unexpected close. EJ prepares to reveal the truth. Kristen asks Marlena for a favor. Those watching today's August 15th Days of Our Lives episode were taken out of the drama for a bit and given a little humor during scenes between Leo and his sequestered roommate Adam. Timothy Horner's character brought the funny for sure, which clearly irritated the heck out of Leo and gave for a good laugh. It all started when the jury was shown to their rooms at the Salem Inn. Leo wasn't only irked by the small quarters, but definitely by the man who had been assigned to bunk with him. Adam appeared a bit starstruck and explained how his wife was a huge Body and Soul fan who thought Leo was just brilliant. When Leo couldn't take it any longer, he claimed he might be having a stroke, which led Adam to call 911. However, while Adam was left panicked, Leo was able to get a break away from his roomie and spend some time with Javi, who answered the call. It was comedy at its best. And if the actor looked familiar to you, this isn't the first time he's appeared on the Peacock soap. Back in 2009, he played Kevin for one episode, a support tech who helped Charlotte find out who broke into her computer to watch the video of John's hypnotherapy. Aside from daytime, he's turned up in numerous primetime series, and most recently played Patrick on The Residence. Welcome to the Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Johnny's trial has been one of the strangest trials we've seen in our 40-plus years watching soaps. While it was nice that Days of Our Lives sprang for a courtroom set, what has taken place in that courtroom has been nothing but weird. It's one thing to see the defendant being prosecuted by his aunt and defended by his father. That's weird enough. But the father defendant is also the victim, and this is where it all went wrong. EJ seemed to decide that since he was the victim and Johnny was desperate, he could then do whatever he wanted, even if it's not what Johnny wanted. Johnny also knew that the video on the memory card had to be a fake, because, for once, he believed his wife. Johnny spent months convinced that Chanel was cheating on him, so he almost cheated on her, all because he had some serious trust issues. It looks like Johnny is now trying to make up for that and is willing to sacrifice his own self for Chanel's sake, as well as fire his own father. After watching EJ's cocky attitude throughout this trial, it felt satisfying when Johnny uttered those words. EJ was blindsided, but it was a long time coming. Play with fire. Get burned, EJ. You lost your girlfriend and your son all in 1 week. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full DOOL recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint that Tate Black may seek full custody after the Tesoro secret leaks. Will Tate demand to raise the baby himself once he finds out about all Sophia Choi's lies? Sophia was afraid that if Tate held or even saw his firstborn child, it would change everything. That's why Sophia worked with Melinda Trask to come up with this elaborate bogus adoption story. But Days spoilers indicate it's not a permanent solution. Tate was duped by Sophia's claims about the adoptive couple in Chicago and signed the paperwork she presented. Now Tate believes the email Trask sent is from the adoptive parents and that they've turned down his baby visitation request. Tate lashed out in Days' August 15th episode since he's grown frustrated over the whole situation. However, when Sophia burst into tears around Little T, aka Tesoro, Tate softened and realized she was struggling too, just not exactly for the reasons he thinks. DOOL fans can expect Tate's anger to return once Sophia's web of deception falls apart. Sophia can't get away with all these lies indefinitely, so it's just a matter of time until the puzzle pieces come together for Tate. Days spoilers say Tate will discover the truth one way or another, so what happens once he realizes he has a son and not a daughter? How will Tate react when he learns Tesoro is his child, and that he's been hidden in plain sight? Tate might back out of the adoption completely, and insist he wants to raise this baby himself. Sophia might also have a change of heart and hope they can raise Tesoro together, but Tate may insist it's not happening after the shady things she's done. Tate might seek full custody and try to shut Sophia out under the circumstances. This storyline could bring some courtroom curveballs and put Tate in the driver's seat when it comes to Tesoro's upbringing. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Tesoro's true identity will bring some stunning news for Tate down the road, so stay tuned for updates on how he'll handle it. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Belle Black is seemingly done with EJ Dimera. Of course, Belle will either turn to Sean Brady or Philip Kiriakis. As for EJ, could he turn to someone surprising, such as Gwen Rizchek von Leuschner? Keep reading, and let's talk about the possibilities. Let's start off with Belle and EJ's doomed romance. They had to go against each other in court, but both want Johnny Dimera to be found innocent. EJ ended up making Johnny testify about the real dynamic between his father and Belle. That certainly caused some shock in the courtroom. While Belle was humiliated and furious, the judge gave EJ a warning about his theatrics in court. Belle told EJ that she was totally done with him. Of course, she always says that, and usually gets drawn to him once again. In the meantime, Belle will likely turn her attention to Sean or even Philip. I don't expect Belle to stay with her rebound, but it could at least keep her distracted long enough for EJ to move on with someone new. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Gwen is currently living in the Dimera mansion. In a sizzling summer promo, EJ gave Gwen orders, as if she were doing some kind of assignment or business deal with him. However, could their dynamic turn into something else? Gwen is bitter, resentful, and jealous of every other woman out there. Meanwhile, EJ is also bitter, resentful, and jealous of every other guy out there. With both having a love of deception, self-pity, and manipulation, it seems they would make the perfect match. I would just love to see Sammy Brady's face if EJ and Gwen hook up. Can you imagine what a Sammy-Gwen face-off would look like? Since this is a soap, I fully expect Belle to get jealous of EJ and Gwen's romance. Belle has always been a good girl with a moral compass. It would actually be a bit fun to see her get devious and deceptive to win EJ back. Maybe she could patch things up with Sammy. After all, Sammy and Belle are sisters and just need to start getting along. Plus, Sammy could teach Belle some useful tricks. With Sammy coming back soon, there is bound to be fireworks and explosions. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Javi Hernandez has revealed that he will be leaving the show and taking a new job. Fans thought a replacement might be hired. However, with hints that Javi's job is about to become more dangerous with everything going on in Salem, will Javi end up being killed instead of being recast? Javi was happy working with Gabi Hernandez until she fired him because of a misunderstanding. However, Javi revealed that he was a paramedic/EMT before and ended up quitting his job. After discussing it with Leo Stark, Javi chose to go back into the field because this is what he truly loves. Javi is very good at his job and he enjoying it. Javi finds working as a paramedic rewarding, much more than Gabi Cheek. However, Javi's job can have its dangers as well. With everything that goes on around the holidays, it is hard to say if Javi will survive the trial, not to mention making it without injuries as a paramedic. Days fans love Al was Javi. Javi is funny, he's charismatic, he's caring, and he gets along with everyone. Javi has been a real asset to the Hernandez family. However, with Al exiting the show, either Javi needs recast or Javi needs to be killed off. Of course, Javi and Leo could get into a fight, and Javi could walk away and leave Leo. Spoilers suggest that a lot of twists and turns are coming up, and danger is included in a lot of it. If things are heating up around the Dimeras, Javi could get caught in the crossfire and be hurt or killed while doing his job. Accidents happen, and we have no guarantees. Will Javi live to move on, or will he leave altogether? Leo has been very unlucky in love, which doesn't bode very well for Javi. Leo always gets into some kind of trouble that affects his relationships. The writers could be ready to write out yet another lover of Leo's just to make him pay again. Will Leo and Have get to the point of irreconcilable differences? Javi could die here as well. Imagine having an injured child and Javi racing to save it. Javi could get the child to safety and end up getting hit with a car or die in an accident after that incident. How would you like to see Javi exit? Should the character be killed off, or should he be recast and keep his love of his life? You won't want to miss next week in Salem, Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of August 18 to 22, 2025. Tease the moment we've all been waiting for since the night of EJ's shooting. Johnny's trial has been a roller coaster, from faintings to objections to shocking secrets. Half of Salem has testified, and next week, EJ's shooter will finally be revealed. Look for the news to drop on Tuesday, after Chanel reminds her husband to focus on clearing his name instead of hers on Monday. By midweek, spoilers may be teasing the identity of the shooter without giving a name. While EJ and Marlena discuss next moves, Kristen will be unable to ignore the facts. Is this a hint that the shooter was Rachel all along? That theory has been speculated across the Days fandom, and now there's a chance it could be right. The week will end with an unexpected close to Johnny's trial. Expect the unexpected in Salem, so only time will tell how things will turn out for the Dimeras this time around. Elsewhere in Salem, Sophia has been keeping a huge secret of her own. She left hers and Tate's baby at the fire station, where Javi and Leo stepped up to take care of him. The couple have been growing closer to baby Tesoro, having no idea he's actually Sophia's son. Sarah, on the other hand, does know the truth, and on Thursday, she'll encourage the teen to come clean about what really happened. But Sophia and Melinda have been determined to keep it all under wraps, so will Sarah's efforts lead to a tricky situation? Donuts of Our Lives. Spoilers for Friday, August 15th. Hint at some major moments in Salem as the weekend hits. Someone will urge a loved one to do the right thing, while a mom will share her concerns, and a character makes a new friend. What's set to go down on Friday? Time to find out. Defined. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Friday, August 15th, imply that Johnny Dimera will beg his father, EJ Dimera, to do the right thing where his wife Chanel Dimera is concerned. EJ is desperate for Johnny to be exonerated in his shooting and could place all the blame on Chanel in front of the jury, considering the video evidence that surfaced and his recent hypnosis session with Marlena Evans, indicating his shooter was a woman. Still, it sounds like EJ won't listen to his client, which could land him in hot water with Johnny. Will Johnny take one for the team and confess he shot EJ, all in an effort to protect his wife? Across town, Chanel's mother, Paulina Price, will share her concerns with Belle Black. As the mayor of Salem, Paulina is in a sticky circumstance. After all, on the one hand, she doesn't want to see Chanel end up on trial for EJ's shooting. However, on the other hand, she can't do anything that seems as if Chanel's being favored, due to her powerful position. Meanwhile, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Friday note that Leo Stark will make a new friend during his time as a sequestered juror at Johnny's trial. He'll be sharing a room with Adam, played by Timothy Horner. What kind of drama will ensue between these two individuals? It's going to be a day filled with drama in Salem. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, August 18th. Promise a day of shocking surprises and tense confrontations in Salem. Alex is set to surprise Stephanie. Steve turns to Kayla for guidance on a personal dilemma. Gabby apologizes to Xander, hoping to mend past mistakes. EJ faces a meltdown with Tony, and Chanel urges Johnny to focus on clearing his own name instead of hers. EJ is poised to erupt in a tense confrontation with Tony. This meltdown will expose his mounting frustrations and the pressure he's under, creating a dramatic turning point that fans won't want to miss. Alex is about to show up unexpectedly, catching Stephanie completely off guard. Their encounter could stir emotions and unresolved feelings, and it may force both of them to confront some things. Steve reaches out to Kayla for guidance, and their conversation is likely to reveal the challenges he's facing. Whether it's personal or family-related, he will need her insight to navigate what's ahead, highlighting the strong bond between these longtime friends. Gabby makes a heartfelt attempt to repair her relationship with Xander. After past misunderstandings, her apology could open the door to forgiveness and shift the dynamics of Salem's interconnected relationships. How Xander responds may have ripple effects on everyone around them. Chanel delivers some tough advice, insisting that Johnny focus on clearing his own name rather than worrying about hers amid his legal issues. Her words push him to take responsibility and prioritize his own path, showing her role as a stabilizing force amid chaos. Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Thursday, August 14th reveal that Rachel Black will scream at Kristen Dimera, while Marlena Evans shares a shooter theory. Chanel Dupree Dimera will also be willing to make a sacrifice for Johnny Dimera. So here's what Days fans can look forward to. For starters, Chanel will decide to go down for Johnny's sake if need be. Since Chanel can't bear the thought of Johnny landing in prison, she won't have a problem with EJ Dimera making her look guilty on the stand. However, Paulina Price will have some concerns, so she may fear that Chanel could face charges next if Johnny gets exonerated. EJ remembered the shooter was a woman and plans to have Marlena Evans testify about that hypnosis revelation in court. However, Marlena's reluctance to do another session has left EJ wondering if she doesn't want him to remember more. EJ is starting to think Belle Black might be responsible, so he may open up to Gwen von Leuschner about that when they talk in Thursday's Days episode. Gwen will also have a tense encounter with Xander Kyriakis, who'll rush to his own defense in a confrontation with Sarah Horton Kyriakis as well. Speaking of Sarah, Days spoilers say she'll bump into Kristen and Rachel outside the pub. That could lead to Rachel wanting to hang out with Sarah, but Kristen might nix the idea and insist they should go home instead. Whatever the case, there'll be some reason for Rachel to have an angry meltdown on Thursday's DOOL show. Rachel will scream at Kristen and cause a scene, so Kristen will no doubt worry about the toll this whole trial mess is taking on her. As for EJ's hunch that Belle might have pulled the trigger, there's no reason to think he's right about that. Belle has shown no signs of guilt at all, and will seem genuinely curious when she seeks updates on Marlena's shooter theory. Although Marlena can't be certain without proof, she may admit she thinks Rachel might be responsible. Rachel may be experiencing a memory block of her own when it comes to firing at EJ that night. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Marlena will face some tricky moments in court now that she's been subpoenaed, so stick with us for more trial-related news. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week, August 18, 2022, reveal that Johnny Dimera will face his verdict, while Sophia Choi steals Tate Black's attention. Chad Dimera will also struggle with his worst fear. So let's talk about what's ahead on DOOL. For starters, Johnny's trial will come with more turmoil. After Johnny fires EJ Dimera for taking things too far, will he get another lawyer to fill in, or choose to represent himself? There isn't much time left in court anyway, so Johnny may think hiring a replacement attorney is unnecessary. Of course, it's also possible EJ will convince Johnny to let him see this through to the end. Despite Johnny's anger over EJ's treatment of Chanel Dupree Dimera on the stand, he might cool off and allow EJ to continue representing him after all. Regardless, a lot could hinge on Marlena Evans' testimony regarding EJ's hypnosis since he recalled his shooter was female. EJ may ultimately blame Belle Black in front of the jury, but it's Rachel Black who Marlena may end up trying to protect. If Rachel's behind the shooting, Marlena won't want that shocking news coming to light. However, it could come out anyway depending on what Marlena testifies and what EJ might remember next. There's even a possibility that Rachel will finally unblock the worst part of that evening and realize she pulled the trigger. At some point, Kristen Dimera may try to take the fall for her daughter, but Rachel may stand against her if she remembers the truth. Johnny's trial will wrap up and could end with a not guilty verdict, but things may turn chaotic for Rachel, Kristen, and Brady Black next. Other Days spoilers say Chad will worry that maybe he's stayed in the friend zone too long. It's clear that Chad has more than platonic feelings for Kat Green, but he's concerned that she might be moving on. Kat had to make up an excuse for the soup, James, aka Rafe Hernandez, left outside her door. So she told Chad an ex made it for her. Kat also claimed this ex wanted her back, and that they were seeing where things might lead. The story was a cover for Kat and Rafe's ISA-FBI partnership, but Chad assumes it's true. Chad may wallow in regret about not making his move, but perhaps he could decide to be brave and make a romantic plea sooner or later. In that case, Day's spoilers suggest Chad's fear of losing Kat might turn into a good thing if it motivates him to take action. As for Sophia, she'll resort to more manipulation tactics. Sophia will console Tate over a fake letter from the adoptive parents denying him access to the baby, though she'll obviously know it's from Melinda Trask instead. Day's spoilers say Sophia may find herself torn between enjoying Tate's attention and fretting over how far he might push this. Sophia knows Tate is struggling to let go when it comes to his daughter in Chicago, but he has no idea he actually has a son right there in Salem. Tesoro is Tate's little boy, so it's just a matter of time until the puzzle pieces come together. For now, Sophia will continue to deceive Tate and try to pull him away from Holly Jonas. Sarah Horton Kyriakis will also wrestle with the secret she's keeping from Brady, since she's in the loop on the real story. On Days of Our Lives. Spoilers say the week of August 1822 will bring some twists and turns, so stay tuned for updates on all the mayhem.